Hey guys, welcome to Pro Wrestling Unlimited. This is Billy, and this is This Week in Women's Wrestling. To kick off the women's segment for Raw, we have Bayley and Mick Foley. Bayley goes on to talk about how Charlotte had Dana go to the back, and yet Sasha came out to help Bayley win. Mick tells Bayley, it doesn't matter how you get there, it only matters where you're going. And you are going to WrestleMania as Raw Women's Champion. Mick asks Bayley, who is your opponent for WrestleMania? Of course, the boss, Sasha Banks, comes out and says, Mick, that is a very good question, and I know the answer. It's me. Bayley, when you and I became friends, we always talked about tearing the house down at the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And that is why you should pick me. And of course, he would come out, the Queen, Charlotte, and Dana Brooke, saying that you knew you wouldn't get another title opportunity to face me, and that was the deal. And that is why you helped Bayley win, so that you can have another title shot. And Charlotte goes on to say that she was robbed of the title last night and she was robbed of her pay-per-view streak. And of course, here comes Stephanie saying how Sasha does not deserve a shot to face Bayley at WrestleMania, and that the woman who deserves it is the woman who was robbed, Charlotte, and says that Charlotte and Bayley will face at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title. Mick Foley steps in and says, you can't leave one of these women out. After the year Charlotte and Sasha Banks have had, you can't leave one of these women out. And they go on to say, next week we can have a number one contender match for the women's title between Sasha and Charlotte. And then Stephanie says, how about Sasha Banks versus Bayley tonight on Raw? And if Sasha Banks win, it is a triple threat match for the women's title at Mania. I love that idea. I love to see Sasha Banks and Bayley wrestle any chance they get. So on to the match. It was a pretty good match. I know they can put on a much better match than that from their past, but I think they're saving it. They're saving it for their one-on-one feud, which I hope will be this summer leading up to SummerSlam. Sasha Banks gets the win with the bank statement after Dana and Charlotte try to interfere, and Sasha kicks Charlotte off the ring and gets the tap out. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that advanced the storyline perfectly, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of Raw until Mania. Speaking of Raw, I will be attending Raw this Monday at the Joe Louis Arena for the final time in that building. Now on to Smackdown. We have John Cena and Nikki Bella versus James Ellsworth and Carmella, with Miz and Maurice at ringside. I thought this was a very odd match, but, I mean, it was a good one. Kind of. John Cena and Nikki Bella hit the 5-knuckle shuffle at the same time, hit their finishers, and they both went into their submissions and got the tap out. And that was pretty much it. After the match, Miz and Maurice grab Nikki and John from the bottom rope, pull them out, and slam him into the stairs and the ring post. They get in the ring and talk about how John Cena and Nikki Bella's relationship is a fake, and how they're disrespectful to quote unquote real love, and just another great promo by The Miz, and I thought I really advanced the storyline. Before leaving the ring, Maurice grabs the mic and tells Nikki to break that bitch. And I thought that was good. I didn't think it had the same effect as last week's with the crowd, but it was a good ending. Later on in the show, we had Alexa Bliss with her Bliss-ertation come out with Mickie James to announce her WrestleMania opponent. But first, she talks about who it's not going to be. She says, it's not going to be Nikki, it's not going to be Naomi, and it's not going to be Carmella. And she said it's definitely not going to be Becky Lynch. And of course, here comes Becky, saying that she will defeat Alexa at WrestleMania for her women's title. And then Natty comes on out and says, Becky, you have no idea. You are not in our league. We are championship material. Alexa looks at Natty and says, "There's no way you're getting a title shot at WrestleMania either." Mickey grabs the mic and starts yelling at them to tell them to shut up and stop being so disrespectful. And this is Alexa's moment to choose who gets to face at WrestleMania, and that will be me, Mickie James. And Alexa just looks at her like, "Excuse me, what?" Daniel Bryan comes out and says Alexa will defend her title against every available woman on the Smackdown roster. I'm kind of excited about that because, as you've heard before, there could be former women talent coming back for WrestleMania. And I think this is where they could enter. They could possibly sign like a one-day SmackDown contract and be in the match. I think this has a lot of potential, and I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully we get a new champion. This goes into a tag team match with Becky and Natty versus Alexa and Mickey. It was a nice little match. I mean, eventually in the match, Natalya hit Becky the German suplex and left her laying in the middle of the ring. Mickey was going to go for the pin, then Alexa tagged in and got the pin. 1, 2, 3. And then Mickey's just looking at her like, what the hell did you just do? And after they announced the winners, Mickey kicked her in the back of the head and held up the SmackDown Women's title. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure it's going to be a Mickie James babyface. I can definitely see her do a tweener run, especially with her connection to the audience. Moving on to NXT, we have Ember Moon versus Billie Kay. I'm a huge fan of Billie Kay, and I see a very, very bright future ahead of her. Ember Moon did pick up the win, and I'm excited to see where this goes. I hope she can beat Asuka for the NXT Women's title. I think that would be amazing. And that is it for this week in women's wrestling. Make sure to tune in every Saturday for this show.